So this is just kind of weird. I don't know why people aren't, or it's not people. I should say like maybe more like liberal people that don't understand. It's not even. It's a better way to say this. How can I say this? Immigration is an issue in this country, and the reason that it's an issue in this country is because like there's a lot of like the young college students who have this idea. They're like, immigration is racist. The immigration laws are racist. Building a wall is racist. Blah 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 blah. Now, here's the reality. Like with the way that the laws are right now, and the way that they've been, literally anyone can come over. Like today, I could be a stripper in Tijuana. Tomorrow, I could just cross the border and then come to America. Or, I don't know if you guys saw that interview by Lex Friedman, but like, the reason that we call these countries, like y'all, I think a lot of y'all don't watch documentaries, so you don't understand why people are fleeing the countries. Like, they're not fleeing because it's great. So all the people who keep saying they have all this pride in their country, that's great. You should stay there and have the pride. You don't need to come here and have Latino pride. Like, you don't need to come to America to be like, I have African pride. Like, African people who are proud to be African are in Africa. Chinese people who are proud to be Chinese are in China. That's how that, well, you don't need to be here to be like, that's what the weird part about it too is like, I feel like not even like a very small amount, like most Black Americans have finally realized that they are African and would like to go back to Africa. Other groups of people want to be here. Like, I personally do not want to be here. I am literally trying to save money to leave. The point is to get out. Unfortunately, I was born here. It wasn't a good time for me. Everything was bad, and now I want to leave. Now, a bigger problem with that is that, like, there's really a point of assimilation. Like, that's another thing. I can sit here and talk all day about, like, what it's like to be an upper middle class American person, all the values, all the norms, all the customs. But, like, y'all don't understand. All of the things that we're talking about with, like, relationships and birth rates and shit, like, technically, we would have had a better society if more... Basically, if Black women would have been integrated into the society would have been better. But instead, Black men chose to, like, exploit Black women for money and rap songs and shit. So instead of them being able to be, like, Whole Foods moms and wives and, like, anything really, they were nothing. And what happened is all the Black women, not all literally, but like 80% of them chose to abort their babies and put them in the trash can. So all the things about Americana that they learned, they never used them to teach them to anyone. All they did was, like, I don't know, honestly, like, there's not many Black women who even make YouTube videos and teach anyone. I really don't know what they're doing with their lives. Maybe many of them have died off. I have no fucking idea. But the point is, they are not the teachers. Like, in the white community, all the white moms are out here. They're, like, teachers. They're educators. They're, like, lawyers now. They're doing all these things for society to try to, like, make society better. That is not what happened with Black women. Like, Black women, there's a few Black women, like 3, maybe, like, I don't know, 10% of the Black women decided that it was safe enough, or maybe they were just cracked out or something to have a child here. And then they did it, and then, like, everybody else didn't. So all of that space is open. Like, all of those, that's why we have, like, that's why people keep talking about birth rates and stuff, because it actually is important. All those spaces, like, all the Black women who graduated from high school and were supposed to go on to get married and start families, niggers, they made it so that never happened. So all those people never had any families. They never bought any homes. They never got anything. They never had any dinners. They didn't have any, like, dresses. There are no special occasions to go to. There's nothing. And so, yeah, all of those opportunities are open now for immigrants to come and take those spaces by just doing nothing. All they have to do is just show up here. That's a lot of fucking spaces. I mean, even though 13% of the population is a small percentage, when 13% of the population isn't actually doing anything that has to do with American values at all, it opens space. Like, 13% is actually kind of a lot of space to be occupied, especially if you're from the developing world and you want to have a better life, and you realize that, like, 13% of the spots are open. You can kind of You can feel the response. So that's what immigrants have been doing. But I think they thought that this was just like, it was kind of a free-for-all. And like, y'all don't understand, not y'all, if you're an immigrant, a part of like the Latinx community, like, I'm sorry, but like, America is never going to be like the Central America. Never ever. I know there all the black people want to be like unity, all for one, and all that bullshit. It's never gonna be that. The reason that the developing world is so bad is because like men have this free-for-all to just do whatever the fuck they want. They literally rape, steal, kill, pillage. They do everything. They toss babies in rivers. They eat people. There are no rules. It's a lawless land, okay? And like, that is where these people are coming from. That's where they're from. And now they're coming here, and they just think y'all maybe you were reading the stories from the news of all the things that are happening. It's not like these stories are getting better. They're not. They're getting so much fucking worse. Every week, it's like some dad who like murdered his like 10-year-old daughter. There was a story I saw like 2 weeks ago. There was some girl who was on a group chat for like a furry friend. It was like a puppy game or something. And some old, like he wasn't even old, he was like a 34-year-old Latino man, lured her into his basement, and then he like had been raping her for like 4 months. And the mom finally found the kid, and it's like, I'm so glad that she's safe and back home. This was like all over the news, and I think it was in Michigan where this happened. Where are the people from the Latinx community to support her? That little girl who was raped by some dude in their own community. Where are they? They're nowhere. You know why? Because everybody believes that the model minority myth is going to save them from the harsh reality of like the real problems of like misogyny and just counterculture. Is like literal bad culture that is coming here. The African community is not any better. Okay, like go listen to what African people are saying about African women specifically, how they're complaining about African men. They're like doing all type of shit. They have like 7 million wives. They like have a baby and then they leave. That's why you see all these like single black mothers, like black women are struggling so hard. It's not good. We don't like that. That is not going to make America a better country. And the thing that I can guarantee you is like white Americans are going to have their country. Americana is just never ever going to die. Never ever. Like we will always have another Taylor Swift, another Emma Chamberlain, another Britney Spears. It doesn't matter the year. It doesn't matter. Like it doesn't matter. It doesn't. This will never be this country of like, oh, now we get to just like be immigrants and just be here and bring our bullshit culture and change everything about America. Like that's never gonna happen. It's never gonna happen. Like you actually have to start from the fucking bottom here, and you have to like work with the people who are here, or you don't work at all. And that's how it is. And that's why those laws are gonna continue to change in Florida. And I think Florida, the thing about it is like Florida actually has a very large Latino community. So now that like the immigrants are not, undocumented people are unable to work in Florida, I don't know where they think they're gonna go. I guess California and New York are the other options. Like I don't think that shit is gonna fly in Tennessee. Like it's not gonna fly in most of the like country states who are very law abiding. It isn't gonna happen. So I don't know. Like I have real questions. I have real questions about it. And I wonder why like other people don't see it that way. I also think it's very interesting like the HBCUs are finally giving like recognition to people who deserve to be recognized a while ago, like Tracy Ellis Ross getting her honorary doctorate degree. Like I don't know how that's happening just now. Like just now she deserves one. Like I mean she's been out here for so long doing so much work. It's like black women never get the flowers until they're like actually dead. Like actually dead. I don't know. I think I can't wait to see what other states do. and how other states handle it. I've been saying immigration is the biggest concern in this country for a very long time. Mostly because, like, not a lot, but there are how can I put this? There are a lot of immigrants from other parts of the world who follow my channel and think they can come here and be me. Like, all the things that I do, the things that I say, the things that I write, they report them as being problematic, and they're like, oh, it's okay, I could just, like, not do what she does or do it in some different way, and then I'll be able to insert whatever here. And that's what they believe, and that's how they behave. And then they start to see that, unfortunately, the reason that I'm here is because, like, I've had to pay my dues at every step. I didn't just get here out of thin air. Every step I've had to pay my dues, and it's been really hard. It's been so hard, and nobody thinks about that. Like, nobody cares. I'm not even trying to be funny, but I think that the Latinx community should go build up Latin America, just like African people are doing in Africa. Black Americans have built up America for Black Americans. It's not for everybody. It's just for Black Americans. You can't just come here and be like, that's another thing. I think it's smart. Like, Florida made a law that if you can't buy property in Florida anymore if you're from China. Now, the thing is, like, Chinese people are rich, and they've done it all throughout California. They own all the new houses and stuff that are being built. They own all of them. Americans don't. First of all, they don't even have the money to buy it, and so now they just have to pay rent to Chinese people in America. All those new developments that are being built in, like, downtown Berkeley, by UC Berkeley, all those are owned by Chinese developers. All that money is going right back to China. Finally, and conservative Americans are gonna keep their shit. And I think y'all are delusional if you think they're not. They are. They'll change every law. They'll make new laws. They'll do anything. And I'm not even mad at them, because you know what? I finally understand. And I didn't before, but I understand.